Have you ever been wondering or struggling how you can actually sit in front of camera to make video about Jesus, or to actually use your phone to type and make a post about Jesus? Then this video is for you. So in this episode, I'm going to talk about 10 reasons why using your media for ministry might be one of the most important things you can do right now. So the first reason is that we are called to share the gospel. Jesus Christ did not say go to the pastors and ministries. He said it to all of us. In the book of Matthew chapter 28 verse 19 to 20 says, go and make disciples of all nations. In today's world, going often means clicking on the record button on your phone or on your camera, or hitting the publish button to publish that post to the modern purpose that we have today, which is the social media. So you don't need to actually get everything ready before you go. All you just need to do is to record or make that little note and publish it to people, and definitely it's going to benefit one person or two. The second reason is the word is loud, so be the light. So we know that social media, the streaming platform, are full of voices and opinions and confusions, and your content can actually be the light in someone's dark scroll. Many times you look at some feed on YouTube, on Instagram, or even on TikTok. Even short podcasts or episode or posts can bring truth and clarity where there is noise and chaos. Okay, so don't hide your light. You are a city on the hill, so you can actually be the light someone is actually going to have for them scrolling through social media platform. The third reason is someone needs to hear your voice. Your story, your struggles, your victories, they are not just for you. Someone is waiting to hear from you. Someone is waiting to hear your story in that your unique way, in that your own unique special way of communicating to people. Your struggle is not just for you. You need to share it to people. You may be the voice they will actually listen to and be free from their oppressions because of what you have experienced it before. The fourth reason is you don't need to be perfect. Moses was not perfect. He was a stammerer. Peter was not. Even Paul was persecuted many times. So they did not start being perfect. So the more you journey in the Lord, the more you start this process with the Lord, the more you become furnished. Yet God used them all. You don't need a studio, neither do you need a theology. I think that is actually resonating with me. There was a time I was like, before I can start to make this type of content, I need to go for theology. I was even looking online, looking for theology schools where I could get for cheap so that I can have this knowledge and share. But I now discovered that you don't need a theology. You just need God. The experience you have is more than enough for you to share. And also, you don't actually need a 10,000 followers. God just wants your willingness, and the Spirit will handle the rest. Okay, so just relax. All you just have to do is to trust God and start from where you are. And the fifth reason is you can reach people beyond your borders. It is difficult for me now to travel from here to another country to be preaching the gospel, but fortunately, nearly from all the nations of the world, we can reach them on social media platform. So podcasts and contents break walls. Someone in another country could be listening to your message while cooking or having dinner or commuting to work. Your faith can travel farther than your feet could ever. So I've never visited many nations, but my podcast would have visited those nations talking about Jesus. So you can be an encourager to someone else outside your perimeter. And the sixth reason is that it builds your boldness. This is not just about spirituality. When you start to record podcasts, the more you speak, the more stronger your voice gets. Creating content helps you grow in confidence, not just in speaking, but in living out your faith in a public way. And it also defines your conviction. The more you talk to people about what you believe, the more you are even haunted with your profession, the more you are reminded of your convictions. So it makes you stay tuned to what you have actually professed to believe. And the seventh reason is that it equips and encourages others. Maybe you love Bible study, parenting, or worshiping. Whatever your passion might be, you can share it and help others grow. You never know how a 10-minute podcast or a post will actually lift someone's spirit up or spark their spiritual growth. Apparently, we always think that we all need to be perfect, we all need to get everything sorted before we encourage people. Even at that level, that you are better than someone, and your words will definitely resonate with them and bring them from their miry clay to sit upon the throne that the Lord has created for them. And the eighth reason is that it helps you to furnish your spiritual gifts. In the book of Romans chapter 12, it's recorded that we all have giftings. Maybe yours is teaching, encouraging, creativity, or even humor. Content creation is one of the ways to invest in your talent and let God multiply the impact. If you are a good communicator, God can start to use your podcast to reach out to people who would actually listen to it. So the more you communicate with people, the more you furnish your talents. So the more you trade with your talent, the more profit you make. So it is imperative for us to start to put this into action, that I don't actually need everything before I start. The more I do it, the more better I become. Just like the first episode of videos I made, they are not as good as this. My speech is not as smooth as this. So the more you do it, the more better you become. So, and the ninth reason is you are leaving a legacy. One of the ways podcast helps you is that by the time you look at your content years to come, it becomes a time capsule. People can track your journey, your growth, even your story and your life story, even a form of autobiography. When you actually make content, you are not just creating content, you are actually leaving an eternity behind. Many of us, we may not be remembered again because we've not actually made content, maybe writing books or making posts that would actually resonate after we die. So just start it. You don't have to get everything, just like I've been saying from the start of this podcast. And the last reason why you should actually sit in front of your camera or get your phone to write a post about Jesus is that Jesus deserves to be glorified everywhere. There's content for everything, for food, for fitness, for finance. But about Jesus, about your faith, no. Jesus deserves to be known in every corner of culture, including YouTube, Spotify, TikTok, or wherever people could be found. So let his name be known. Okay? So you don't have to, I think I've been saying this too much, but I will still say it. You don't have to get everything sorted before you start. Just start with the little that the Lord has given to you, and it's going to breathe on it. I know putting yourself out there can be very, very scary. You may feel lonely, you may be scared, but you don't have to be flashy or famous to be a difference. Just faithful, just obedience, and just willingness. So God is going to help you to actually overcome your fear when you start. Okay? Confidence is not in the absence of fear, but the courage to actually keep pushing even in the presence of fear. So whether it's a 5-minute devotional, a testimony, a Bible quiz, or Bible question and answer, or a Christian podcast, or mental health, your voice matters. Start where you are, use what you have, God will use it. Amen. Thank you so much. If today's episode has stirred something in your heart, maybe it's time to hit your record button, okay? And please try to subscribe to this channel, leave a review, share this with someone who has been sitting on their calling. I am Isaiah Oshati. See you again. Bye-bye.